Hey everybody, welcome back to Mad Horse Barbecue. My name is Brian, and in today's video, we're gonna cook, but today's video is gonna be how to start up, run, and maintain the temps on your Gateway drum smoker. Now this video can be used for any kind of drum smoker, whether you got a WSM, Oklahoma Joe's Bronco or Bronco Pro, Hunsaker. Pretty much it can be run on any kind of drum that has some intakes and a chimney on it. It's a very commonly asked question I get on my channel is how do I run it? Like what do I do with my vents? And that's what we're gonna go over today. I was gonna shoot this video a few weeks back, but I didn't have anything to cook. I do have, my mom and dad are here in town this weekend, and we're gonna kind of do like a Thanksgiving / Christmas celebration today. So I got about a 16-pound turkey that I'm gonna be cooking during this video. But again, this video is not how to cook the turkey. It's just how to maintain your temps. I can tell you right now, the temp we're gonna be shooting for today is probably right around that 275 range, and gonna be really easy. So because these drums, once you learn how to use them, and once you get them dialed in, super easy to use. So stay tuned, and I'll probably bring you back here in just a little bit, and we'll get this thing started. All right, we got to get some coal in the basket first to get this thing going, obviously. Now, you can fill your basket up while it's in the drum. I prefer to fill it up when it's outside of the drum. The coal we're going to use is this Blues Hog lump. When it comes to me and my Gateways, I only run lump charcoal in it now. I ran Royal Oak lump. I ran B&B lump. I've ran Rockwood lump, and Blues Hog is by far my favorite. Blues Hog and Rockwood are damn near the same exact thing, but keep an eye out if you guys or girls can't find this. If you have an Ace Hardware by you, and if they don't carry it, I will about guarantee you can either go online and place an order and have it delivered to the store for free, or you can talk to the manager at that Ace Hardware and he can get this in, because Ace Hardware does carry this. It's usually around $27.99 a bag, but what you can do is keep an eye out for sales. The last time they had a sale on this stuff, it was like 20% off a bag, and I bought 10 bags. So without further ado, let's get some coal in the basket. And then while the basket's out, I'm gonna go ahead and use one of these Weber wax cubes, just one of them. I'm gonna place it right in the middle, kind of bury it just a little bit, just like that. Then we're gonna put the basket in the drum. And when it's in the drum, I'm gonna open up both my intakes. Always have both intakes open on startup. And then once the basket's in the drum, intakes are open, go ahead, take a torch, light the cube. And I'm gonna let this burn, top off, intakes wide open for 10 minutes, and we'll pick back up then. All right, 10-minute timer's gone up. You can kind of see down in there, got a nice small coal bed. This is where you can kind of sort of experiment yourself and figure out how you want to light your drum. You can obviously, you could light a small chimney of charcoal, dump it on top. But for me, if I'm going to try to run around 275, I'm going to start small with the fire, because I think it's a lot easier to slowly bring up that temp, and then it holds a lot better compared to starting off way hot, and then you got to bring it down, and then it seems like you're battling temps the whole time. So my biggest tip right here is if you're going to cook 300 or below, start your fire small and gradually build it up to where you want it. If you're going to start at like 400, let this thing burn for 20 minutes instead of 10 minutes. Maybe put 2 wax cubes in there, or dump dump like a small chimney of charcoal in there, because you're going to be cooking hotter than that 300. But like I said, 300 or below, start with a small fire. So now that we got that going, we got to get the charcoal grate in. And I'm cooking a turkey, so putting it on the top pegs just isn't going to give me enough room. So I'm going to put it on the middle pegs, right down in there, and that's where I'm going to be cooking. So I'm going to go ahead, close this thing down, open up my exhaust all the way. And then, once I start seeing temps on that gauge approach like the probably 240, 250 range, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to dial back my intakes to about a quarter way. But for now, while this thing's coming up, it's going to run wide open like that. So I'm assuming it's probably going to take about 20 minutes to get there. So when it starts to get a little closer, I will pick back up and I'll show you me adjusting the vents. All right, we are back. Temp on that gauge is now right a little above 250. Kind of got carried away getting the turkey ready, but what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to dial the intakes back to quarter. And by quarter, I mean what I like to do is I like to just kind of stick my finger in here like that. And that's how we close the one. Same way in the other one. Finger in it, just like my pointer, my index here. And kind of just, that's how we close the second. Again, too, you'll notice that my top vent during all my drum cooks is never going to close. Like I will not have an issue keeping this thing at the 275 to 300 mark with this top vent wide open. Top vent, I like wide open because to me it's just a cleaner burn that way and you're not choking the fire. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is this thing probably more than likely will balance out right around, it's probably gonna go probably closer to like 280 or 290, but that's fine as long as I keep this thing below, let's say below 300, but above 275. So I guess I could have just said in between 275 and 300 for this cook. So I'm gonna go ahead and let this thing settle down, and I will be picking back up when we're throwing the turkey on. All right, we are back. It's time to put the meat on the grill. Now, I'm just gonna address one thing right away. I see a lot of people commenting that they're getting a ton of flare-ups on their drums. You know, and I see a lot of comments too. People, when they take the lid off, they get flare-ups. Well, that's pretty obvious why. I mean, you look at the size of the intake there, it's like a 2-inch, or the size of the chimney, it's like a 2-inch chimney, and then you take this thing off, and a 2-inch chimney turns into a 21-inch chimney. So obviously it's gonna flare up if you lollygag around when your lid is off. So my suggestion is that when you get the lid off, you get your meat on, you get that lid closed right back there, and if you got this thing adjusted correctly, it should go right back to where it was. Now, one tip, usually, when you put meat on, especially a bigger cut of meat, and in this case, I'm cooking this turkey on a half pan, your temps will drop a little bit. So what I actually got going on now is I got my temps kinda, what do we got there? About 310, 315, and that's fine. Because when I go and put that turkey on and close this thing back down, the temps are gonna dip down, and I would almost be willing to bet they'll probably settle in right around that 290 range. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get the turkey on before it knocks my side shelf off. Lid is shut. If you've seen some of my videos in the past, especially like my chicken wing video, you'll notice I use a lot of disposable cooking sheets. They're kind of just like a metal grate that's disposable. And the reason I do that is so I don't have to take the time and flip over 30 chicken wings. I can just pick up the sheet, pull it off the grill, flip my wings with the lid shut, and then put that, put the chicken wings back on. So this thing's gonna stay shut down. I'll probably check back in every now and then, but cooking this turkey today at about 275 to 300. I'm expecting this bird to take probably about 3 hours. So we will pick back up here, and if I have to adjust the vents at all, I'll show you when I do that. All right, guys, we're about 10 minutes into this cook, and I did have to bump those intakes down just probably about a 16th of an inch more a piece. However, you'll notice I haven't touched that exhaust, and my exhaust is staying open, and I'm regulating temps with the intakes. Believe it or not, it actually kind of kept going up when I put that turkey on, and I didn't expect that, but it's just kind of a thing you pay attention to, and you catch it earlier instead of letting it get out of hand. But you can see we're running right about just a little under 290 right now, and I'm assuming it should be staying there pretty easily with the vent setup we got. So now we'll probably check back in about an hour or so. All right, we've been going for right about an hour and a half now. There's my vents, still set where they were on the last shot. I believe they were, at least. I don't think I came out here and switched them. But there's the temp right at 300. And what I'm going to go ahead and do, actually, is I'm going to actually adjust my vents. And I'm going to bring this temp up a little bit. Not much, but I'm just going to go ahead and bump these open just a little bit. Just like that, just because I want to get this bird cooking a little bit more. But let's just go ahead and quick take a peek at the turkey. Looking pretty dang good. And again, what you really want to minimize when you're doing any kind of drum style cooking or any kind of charcoal that matter, you don't want to have the lid off for that long. So I got the lid off, the lid on, looked at the turkey. I'm not doing anything with it yet, but I did that all within a span of about 20 or 30 seconds. You probably don't want to leave this thing open, probably for more than a minute. I think the people who have the flare-ups on their grills, they probably take their lid off for a little too long. And by little too long, I mean, you probably leave it open for a couple minutes, because if I leave this open for a couple minutes, it will start on, the charcoal will light. Well, the charcoal is lit, but the charcoal will kind of burst into flames, and then, you kind of might get a little bit of burnt meat. But just minimize how much time you have your lid off, and you will be absolutely fine. I can about guarantee it. So I'm going to leave this thing shut down probably for about another hour, and I'll probably check back in one more time just to kind of give a progress report and how the temps are holding. So we'll see you then. All right, we are back. We're about 2 hours into the cook. I'll give you a quick peek at the temp gauge. A little north of 300. There's my intakes. Boom and bop. Pretty much sitting, right where I adjusted it about an hour or so ago. I'm gonna kind of sort of end this video, but before I do that, I'll give you one more look at that turkey. Looking pretty dang good. All right, just to sum everything up, this is basically all this video is it just shows you how I run my drums, or in specific how I run my gateway. You can use this method, and you can use these techniques for any kind of drum style cooking. Like I said, whether it be your gateway, your Weber Smoky Mountains, your Oklahoma Joe Bronco Pro or Bronco, pretty much anything that has some intakes on it, and a chimney on it, you can run these all the same. That's how I run them. Exhaust always open. You got to remember too, a couple tips. When you start your fire small and gradually build up your temp. I think you should kind of sort of use that principle when it comes to any kind of charcoal cooking, whether it be on a kettle or a gateway. I always like to start the fires smaller and gradually build them up instead of starting hot, because then it seems like you're battling it. Use good charcoal. That helps out a lot too with consistent burning temps. And pretty much the most important thing would be minimize the time you have your lid off, because you saw this entire cook with I think we were on for about 2.5 hours already. This entire cook, my chimney never shuts. It always stays wide open. It burns better to me that way. So, yeah, besides that, I don't have a whole heck of a lot else. If you wanted anything else explained in this video that I didn't go over, feel free to drop a comment and let me know. Otherwise, hope you and your family have happy holidays, and see you next time.